I believe by discussing this, it can open up our eyes and help us to understand why we as humans commit certain sins. And with this information, you'll be able to spot a demon from a mile away and maybe even aid those that are struggling with certain sins every single day. This will actually be a video series about the principalities of hell. Okay, let's begin, guys. But before I fully address the main topic though, it must be understood that the vast majority of all evil activity is carried out by Satan's underlings, not by Satan himself. In a common conversation, when it is said that Satan did a particular work, it almost always means that he was in charge of the work, but not that he actually carried it out himself. So in fact, demons are very conscious of authority, and they strictly adhere to the chains of command and the line of authority structure. Here are how demons are organized according to their rank. In descending order, you will see that there are chiefs, which is Satan himself, kings, princes, generals, captains, and centurions. The chief prince is in fact Satan, Lucifer, the devil himself. Kings and princes are both rulers, and they rule various geographical and spiritual areas throughout the world. Generals are in charge of 6,000 demons. Captains command 600 demons, while centurions are in charge of 100 demons. And then there are watchmen, which are in fact just regular demons that watch and try to take over a specific human's bodies. There are also kingdoms, principalities, dominions, and powers which are administered by kings and princes. Like for example, each state in the United States is ruled over by a prince, while a king rules over the whole United States itself. So now that this is all out of the way, let's actually get to the main topic, my brothers and sisters. We're going to be talking about principalities, which are forces and dominions that are dealing with nations and governments. In fact, there are high-level satanic princes and demons that are set over certain nations and regions of our earth, and they are commanding generals over Satan's fallen army. So today we're going to be talking about one prince or principality out of 7, and that is Bacchus. Bacchus is a high-level demon overseeing addictions of all kinds, such as drugs, smoking, alcohol, food, and other strange habits. Bacchus was actually named after the Roman god of wine, and he is the principality of addiction. Addictions are a form of control of the individual, a step that seems fairly unimportant to most people. But in fact, it introduces people to a small taste of demonic control, which can be enlarged to other areas of life. Let's remember, demons can even have some influence over Christians, which can hinder the Christian liberty if they have certain addictions. Today in America, the widespread abuse of drugs and narcotics is a cancer that has devastated our nation, guys. Drug abuse is linked to virtually almost every evil and criminal activity within our society. Also, drug and alcohol addiction are the most prominent and glamorized topics in the media, and this is all the work of Bacchus the demon. Mind control is the chief weapon of Satan to snare and grasp the believers. The scriptures admonish us to bring every thought in captivity, and drugs are actually the best way to control an individual's mind, body, and soul. And what the media is doing by this glamorized drug addict lifestyle is simply generating demon traps. And a demon trap is a very powerful satanic device that a sorcerer or a witch can utilize to achieve his or her specific goals. A real demon trap, when utilized properly, actually brings the demon out into our dimension, and that causes havoc on people's lives. Guys, I want to show you a few examples of what is going on in the world of addiction. We must really pray hard for these people because their struggles are great. You know, we see so much glamorization of drugs that it is truly disgusting. We see rappers singing about drugs, we see high fashion condoning drugs, and celebrities are now becoming the people's idols, and so many of them are publicly known to be hooked on alcohol and drugs. This is madness, guys. There are even TV shows that are making it look cool. And now I even found an article that says that the United States is releasing inmates early if they are charged with drug-related crimes. America is basically slapping these people on the wrist for drug-related crimes. Here in this article, you could see that starting this week and over the next few days, the Federal Bureau of Prisons is set to release an estimated 6,112 inmates from custody as a part of an effort that reduced their sentences for drug crimes. It is actually the largest one-time release of federal prisoners in the United States history. The release is actually the result of a vote by the independent U.S. Sentencing Commission last year to redraw federal sentencing guidelines for some drug offenses. And as many as 46,000 people could see their sentences shrink under the new guidelines within the next year. Goodness gracious, this is madness. This is true madness, guys, because, people really don't know drug addicts. This is just what they will be caught for. I have known many drug addicts. I have experienced drug addicts all around me, and most of them are doing a lot of other crimes to get the drugs, such as robbing ATMs, stealing from people, pawning people's stuff. They're just being all around snakes to other people. Drug addicts do a lot of crimes just to attain their drugs, just to attain one fix. And many people in the drug scene actually spend their time on dark and occult things. Some even profess Satanism or even practice it, while others revel in death wishing, and many commit criminal and illegal acts. The drug scene is a world full of abysses, wickedness, and despair. And the only way to true freedom is through God and Jesus Christ. Also, smoking and alcohol are a part of the drug-addicted individual's life. There are many people that are smoking and drinking, and it has become such a staple in today's world that it's scary. Even kids are participating in underage drinking and smoking. It's ridiculous, it's blasphemy, it is craziness. And I have even seen smoking ads and alcohol ads in teenage magazines. This is outrageous because it's making those things look cool to underage kids. Bacchus has had great success in converting people's minds toward destroying their bodies. We must also know that addiction completely changes the wiring of people's brains. This is all the works of demonic possession. It is the demon controlling your brain. And then the brain and your mental state controls your body. If someone in your life is struggling with any type of an addiction, they are in fact struggling with inner demons, and especially most drug users will admit to it. If you know of anyone that is struggling, we should not just demonize the person and turn them into a monster in our minds. In fact, addicts are people just like anyone else. They have just been taken over and they have been exposed to Bacchus. And if we turn away from them, if we turn away from the drug addicts, it will only make the addicts spiral down even faster. We can actually aid these people through prayer. We can help these people by teaching them about God and about Jesus. God has magnificent powers, and He can heal us with a wave of His hand. You know, I have seen many people be healed through the power of God, and I want to show you this great article of a woman being freed from addiction. You'll see it right here, and I'll also link it below for you guys to read it. Please check it out, it's awesome. We all fight battles, guys. We all fight our inner demons, and Bacchus is one of them that is wreaking havoc onto our lives. And guess what? Our youth is in great danger, in very great danger, more so than ever before. Drugs and other addictive substances are spreading rampantly throughout our communities, our schools, and our neighborhoods. And it's sad, but many are unaware. We can discern when someone is influenced by negative energies if we just talk to God. And I want to show you some things that will let you know if people are in fact influenced by demons. So, first of all, demon-possessed people seem to prefer to live by themselves and away from other peoples. And I'm not saying that anyone who lives alone is possessed, it's just a statistic, guys. Also, these people tend to be impossible to control in any way. They almost have a supernatural power through which they're able to break free from control. They also have uncontrollable emotions, such as anger and sadness, and sudden changes in their personality. Often, these people hurt themselves and their bodies in many ways, through smoking, drinking, drugging, cutting themselves, starving themselves, and then they love to cry out. Also, these people might have really disturbing nightmares all the time. And also, we will sense the spirit of fear in ourselves when dealing with somebody who is subdued by the spirit of Bacchus. And over time, the spirit of fear will grow in one's house and in one's mind. This is a true sign of demonic attack. Your spirit will also sense that they are from darkness, and you will be able to discern this by the way their eyes look. Something about the eyes will tell you that negative forces possess them. And there is a lot more evidence, guys. You can look into signs of possession on this page here, and I'll also link it below. It has over 70 signs of somebody who is possessed and how to tell if they are. But I want to tell you guys that no one is perfect. We all have had a battle within ourselves and probably struggled with different addictions. But deliverance is available to all of those that believe. To understand more about this, we can read the Bible, specifically Mark's verses. The moral bankruptcy of our society is very well documented, guys, but only a few people understand why we have become morally bankrupt. However, when we look at society through the biblical eyes of God, we can easily see why we're facing the unprecedented troubles of today. We're being fed so much negativity, guys, and that is exactly what spawns this destructive spirit upon our world. The elites are feeding us all the same demons, and we must be conscious of it. We must discern what is truly going on in this world. Guys, I hope you found this article helpful, and there is so much more to cover. On this note, I will end it here, and I hope you understand that we actually are in a spiritual war, a war against good and evil, and this is the main war we should actually be focusing on.